بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. The topic that we have selected for today is the drop shipping model that is prevalent nowadays. So we will just analyze this model from a Sharia perspective. So it is a known fact that the technology and the advancement in the social media services and platforms that we have, no doubt that they have given and created a lot of ease with regards to trade and facilitated business and entrepreneurship and may have made it much easier. But at the same time, it has made it a bit more complex from the Sharia perspective for following the rules and the regulations. And that is why the correct stance in Sharia is always not to disregard the technology totally, but rather to blend the technology. In other words, to Islamize the technology, to take benefit from it together with fulfilling the rules and the regulations of Sharia as well. So we have the scenario that is in front of us. A person has a virtual shop or store, and it can be through either by his own website, or it could be a specific page on a major commercial website. And basically, for doing a business on this platform, he does not require a capital investment wherein he has to invest a lot of capital to buy stock. So what he will do, he will speak to a couple of dealers in the area. Sometimes they are close by, sometimes not close by, quite further away. And he will take photos and descriptions of the items that they have and they are selling. And prices will be stipulated. So this is the price you will sell this item to me. And then he will place it on his platform or website and market it out to the people. So when he markets that to the masses, the only expense that he occurs is basically the marketing expenses. But he has not bought anything. It is not in his possession at the moment, nor in his ownership. Now, when the customer orders, at that time, he informs the dealer, and the dealer will ship that item to the customer or the client, the person who has ordered. According to Sharia, if we analyze this, we find that the basic requirement for trade is not being fulfilled here. Because anything that is sold, the sold item has to be in the ownership of the seller. It has to be known, it has to be specified, and that sold item has to come into the possession of the seller before selling. So basically, at the time that the transaction takes place, that item has to be in the ownership as well as the possession of the seller. In this case, basically, two trades are happening. So the first trade is between the dealer and the seller of the platform or the owner of the platform. And the second trade is between this owner or this seller to the end customer or the end user who has ordered through the website or the online platform. Now, if you look at it, the dealer is the owner of the item and he is directly shipping that item to the customer. In the meanwhile, this item has never entered the ownership of the second seller or the buyer in this case, the owner of the platform, and nor it has entered into his possession. Hence, this profit that is earned would not be permissible because this sale is invalid. Now, according to Sharia, what is the solution? So the solution is that when the order takes place, or the customer or the end user orders on the online platform, at that time, a promise to sale can be undertaken by the owner of the platform. This promise to sale is distinct from the actual transaction. So this is not the finalization of the transaction. So, for example, I am the owner of the platform, I have a website and I receive an order. As soon as I receive an order, I will give a confirmation, and that confirmation will be an agreement to sale or a promise to sale. Al-wa'du bil bay'. It will be a promise before the actual transaction. However, it is totally fine to stipulate a price of the item in this case and at this juncture. Now, once I receive the order, I will buy and acquire the commodity from the dealer, and hence it will enter into my ownership. And how will it come into my possession? If it is further away, if it is possible, I can take possession of it myself. And if that is not possible, I can either appoint an agent, a third party, as an agent of possession. So the third party, as my agent or as my representative, would take possession of the item on my behalf, and their possession would be equivalent to my possession. And if this was also difficult, then the easiest thing would be for me to pay the shipping company. So the shipping company would become my agent. And as soon as the commodity or the item gets into the hands of the shipping company, it will be as if I have taken possession of the item. And then thereafter, a second sale can be transacted, and that would be totally fine. So the difference, say for example, the first sale, the item or the commodity was 100 rupees, and then thereafter the second sale was 200. So the difference in the item and the price, that will be the profit, and that profit would be totally permissible. So this is one way. If you would like to have two transactions, buy it from the dealer and then resell it further, it is necessary that when you have that transaction or you make the second transaction, it has to be done when the commodity or the item has come into the complete ownership and possession of the seller, and only thereafter it can be forwarded or the second transaction can be made. If this is not possible, the second option that we have is that You or the agent, the person who is the basically the website owner, he will act as an agent for the dealer, as a wakil will buy for him, an agent for sale. So in the second scenario, only one transaction is taking place, and that transaction is between the actual dealer and the end customer. However, you or the person who is running the the sale platform or the website, that person will act as a commission agent. So he will be entitled to receive a commission of sale, but for this it is necessary that the commission be stipulated. And it can be stipulated through an amount of rupees per item, say for example 50 rupees per item, or it can be a percentage of the sales. So if we adhere to this, there are both two scenarios wherein this transaction could be permissible according to Sharia, and the money earned would be halal. The same principle is found, and the same issue is with the forex trading. So when we speak about forex trading, I am actually meaning the online forex transactions that happen on online exchanges, because offline the rules are uh, not similar, they are a bit different. So for example, I would like to exchange US dollars with INR, Indian rupees. So it is necessary that before that transaction, the session expires. So within the session of the transaction, it is necessary that either one of the currencies exchanges hands, or either one of the currencies is taken possession of. So either if I am buying USD dollars, either I take possession of the dollars or I give possession of the rupees. There is a difference of opinion among scholars with regards to this currency transaction, whether this falls into the contract of sarf or not. So sarf is basically a currency transaction in Sharia. Some scholars say that this is also a sarf transaction, and hence all the laws of sarf would fall and will have to be followed here as well. However, majority of the scholars believe that there's a difference between the actual currency, which has been created as currency by Allah, and that is the gold and silver, and the fiat currency. The fiat currency is different, also known as Saman al-Urfi, or something which is not created intrinsically as currency, but has been made currency by the government, and hence all the laws of sarf will not apply. So we take that opinion, and we believe that one of the items, one currency, has to exchange hands and has to be taken possession of during the transaction or during the session of that transaction. However, when we look at the current practices that are prevalent with regards to exchanges, so in the exchange, either it is a forex, the very currency is being exchanged, or it is a commodity exchange, we find that the core item for any sale, the core element, which is known as the saman and the mabi'. Saman is the price, and mabi' is the sold item. The sold item has to exist, it has to be present. Here, the sold item is not present. So a person is buying 10,000 USD through INR. You will not be given 10,000 USD. No exchange will give you the delivery of the USD. You can only take back INR according to the rate. So there is no USD available. And in certain exchanges, if there is a certain percentage of USD or this currency that is available, and that the trading is happening 10x or 20x. So for example, if there is a $1,000, trading is happening in around $20,000. The same is with the commodities, gold, silver. And hence, because the actual core component of a sale is not present, then such a transaction would definitely be invalid and batil. And any type of profit earned would not be permissible, and it would be tantamount to qimar. Currently, especially in India and many of the countries, the commodities exchanges and the forex exchanges are running in the same way. There is no commodity at all. And if, to a certain extent, we would say that there is a commodity in certain transactions, there is the item present. However, the conditions for possession are not met. Hence, it is necessary for us to abstain from forex transactions online on all these exchanges, commodities exchanges also, because currently there is no halal alternative available. Yes, if we go, Dr. Shahul Amit will inform us that there are certain exchanges in Malaysia where they do have ulama ikram and scholars who are supervising the exchange, and they do have a Sharia compliant version there. But I'm not sure if that it is available for trading for Indians, or people from the Indian market can trade in there. But that is something uh, that we can speak to Dr. Saab about it, and he can elaborate on it later, inshallah. So we will end in here, inshallah. The two topics, just capping it up with regards to the drop shipping model, and as well as the forex exchange and online forex trading on online exchanges. Basically, if the basic, the core components of sale, meaning the existence of the commodity, the actual commodity or the item being sold, being into the ownership of the seller, the item being known, the item being specified, and the sold item being in the possession of the seller, if these core requirements are fulfilled, only then would it be permissible. Otherwise, it would be not permissible, and any type of income earned would not be halal. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallahumma bihamdik, subhanallah.